Hey everyone, Dusty from Discovery Lab in Tulsa, Oklahoma for Discover at Home, a series of at-home experiments and projects that you can do with a parent or caregiver at your own house. Today we're going to be celebrating Halloween and doing some fun thematic experiments. Now, a word of warning, make certain you do have a grown-up or adult before trying these experiments. They are going to be a little dangerous, alright? So, before we get started, let's talk about what I have here. You can see I have got a pumpkin. Now this guy is unfortunately not a real pumpkin, but you could just as easily use a real pumpkin for this. I've got some water that I've warmed up. I've got a couple of glasses. This one's got just room temperature water in it. I've got some dish soap. I've got a spoon. I've got some dye, just regular food dye. I've got a paper towel. I've got this little beaker here. And then I've got my gloves. Now these are my temperature resistant gloves. Definitely wear thick leather gloves. Nice gloves are going to keep you from getting too cold, because our last piece that we have is something that's cooler than ice. This is called dry ice. Now, if you look closely, you might notice what looks like kind of wisps of smoke coming off of it. That's actually all the moisture in the air condensing. So that's just the water that's normally in the air, the humidity. It gets so cold, it turns into these clouds and kind of runs down. Now, how do we get this so cold? Well, this is actually not normal ice like you would think of as frozen water. This is actually frozen carbon dioxide. Now, if you've never heard of carbon dioxide is the stuff we breathe out. We breathe in oxygen and we breathe out carbon dioxide. So this is that gas that they've got super duper cold. In fact, this is several degrees colder than 0 degrees. So that means if I was to touch this, it could give me frostbite on my fingers. So I'm being extra careful with this. That's why I have these nice thick gloves to not hurt me. Now, I'm going to show you a couple ways that with a grown-up, you can make some fun Halloween-themed little decorations this year. Now the first one is real simple. I call this a shrieking spoon. All you need is a nice metal spoon, warm it up a little bit, or you just dip it in your warm water and then touch it to some dry ice. Get kind of that squeaky, shrieking noise. It kind of hurts your ears. Now what's happening there is whenever this reaches a high enough temperature, it turns back into that CO2, that carbon dioxide gas. It doesn't turn into a liquid. That's why it's called dry ice. So when those little gas bubbles come out, they bounce against my metal spoon, making it vibrate. And it's vibrating so fast, it's just bouncing back and forth. And it makes that squeaky noise. Sometimes you get it just right and it sounds like something shrieking in the night. So that's our shrieking spoon we can do with that. Now the next one I want to show you, if you're looking to go for kind of a mad scientist vibe for a holiday party, you can get some plain water and some food dye. So you could easily use any old bottles you got around. I've got my beakers right here. This one's full of plain water. This other one I'm going to fill up with warm water. And we're going to see the difference here. Now, remember, my dry ice has to get enough heat energy, has to get warm enough to turn from that solid back to that gas. That's what we call sublimation, turning directly from a solid to a gas. So that means that the more heat energy I have, the faster it's going to happen. So this one right here, ooh, it's a little warm to the touch. This one, it's almost cool. So let's give us some colors. Now I'm just going to do what I think will be some fun, kind of crazy, mad scientist looking colors. You could easily make this if you want to do more of like a magician's potion type looking thing, whatever you like, whatever cool bottles you could find. But put a little bit of food dye in there and then get yourself just a little chunk. You don't need much more than about the size of, a marble or so. And you drop that in right there and we start to get this kind of bubbling concoction, and then it rises out. And let's take a look and see what happens when I put some in my other stuff. Ooh, I can get a little chunk right here snapped off. There we go. And we're going to put this in the hot one. Let's watch the difference between this regular room temperature one and this hot one right here. Oh my gosh. See how much more violently this is coming out? It is being converted to that gas so much more faster. That gas is just pushing itself out. And you can see that the condensation is actually colder than the air in this room. So that's why it goes down. It has enough energy to kind of bubble out, but then it makes its way down. It has this really fun old school movie look to it, doesn't it? And you can kind of move it around like this. It makes a really great backdrop if you wanted to be like a mad scientist or Halloween. So I'm gonna set these guys to the side. I'm gonna show you another way that we can do that. So I get my pumpkin right here. Now I've carved my pumpkin out with a little face, and I've put a little cup in here. Now what I'm gonna do is pretty much the same thing. I'm gonna put a little bit of that dry ice inside my pumpkin, try to get it right in that cup. Oh, right there. I can't believe I made that in. Now I'm gonna put a little bit of this hot water in here, and the same thing that happened before is gonna happen with my pumpkin. But you can see, instead of just bubbling out right there, it kind of spills out of his mouth, kind of nice and kind of spooky like. And so remember, the hotter your water is, the more quickly it's gonna happen. So if you want this to last a really long time, you might want some room temperature water, but if you want it to bubble really, really quickly, for a couple minutes, warmer water is gonna make it happen faster. Let's move this to the edge so we can see him kind of breathing out that ghostly looking vapor right there. Oh yeah. So if I'd had a bigger chunk of dry ice and put even warmer water in there, it might have even been coming out his eyes and everything. Oh, but look, you can even see it's so cold, it's leaving little moisture trails on my table. Let's set this guy to the edge. I'm going to show you a couple more things we can do with our dry ice. Now this next one right here, this one is what we call the crystal ball. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a flat container right here, and so you could use a big glass bowl or something like that. The bigger, the better whenever we do this one. So what happens whenever I drop this little piece of dry ice in here is that it starts to bubble, and we get all this kind of vapor coming up here. But now I want to find a way to trap it. Now normally, whenever I blow a bubble, I'm breathing out carbon dioxide, right? This is pushing all that carbon dioxide out. So let's see if I can blow a bubble using that. So I'm going to take a paper towel. You could easily use like a rag or something. I'm going to wet it slightly with my warm water. You could use regular room temperature water, but I've got warm water, so that's what I'm going to use. Wet it slightly, and then just a little bit of soap. If you had some already mixed up bubble liquid, you could do that as well. But I'm just going to use just regular old soap and get a little bit on there. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and make a bubble that goes all the way around the edges. And I'm going to kind of go around the edge just once to get enough to get it started. And we'll see if I can kind of pull it across. Oh, pop that one. Get it just on the edge. Oh, there we go. Oh, my bubble's not wanting to stay for me. Oh, keeps popping on me. So, one of the things you can do if your bubbles are popping like mine are, you can add a little bit of corn syrup. Corn syrup makes your bubbles stickier and makes them stick a little bit better right there. If you've already got some homemade bubble solution or store-bought bubble solution, it has something in it called glycerin. And that glycerin, it does the same thing. It makes it sticky. Oh, I just needed to go really, really slow. I was going too fast for my bubble. All right, and then I get the end of it sealed off. Oh, there we go. Whew, I was just going too fast. Now you can see my bubble is acting kind of like a lid or a seal, and it's storing all of that vapor and all that gas. Now, as we have this kind of state change, what's happening is all that vapor is getting stored right in there. You can see it's made itself a little kind of crystal ball shape right here. And now, if you let it get bigger and bigger and bigger, you can get this nice big dome in there. Mine's run out of energy a little bit, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to drop another chunk of dry ice in there and see if we can't get it to go a little bit bigger than that. And try one more time to get my bubbles over the top of it. Now you saw how fast that went out? Like I said, that's what happens whenever you do it too warm. Your dry ice almost immediately gets finished. But look at that one right there. That's a much better looking one. And you can see it kind of rises up. Ooh, it's like you're summoning it from this little jar right here. Oh, if you kind of wave your hands a little bit, the air kind of moves it and it kind of wibble wobbles. And it looks so cool until it all flows down right there. So if you've got a really fun jar, you could do that. A big bottle or bowl or something like that. You could do that little crystal ball trick right there, which is super fun as well. Another fun thing to do is if you could try and see if you could get that to blow bubbles like with your bubble wand, and then you have the little ones kind of floating all through the air. They look kind of like ghost bubbles. All right, I'm going to show you one last thing. Now this one right here, it's very important that you never, never, never do this one without the closest adult supervision. Now, as our dry ice subliments or turns from that solid to that gas, what's happening is we're building up a lot of pressure. Now you saw how my bubble got bigger and bigger and bigger as it converted from solid to gas. And it swelled up. Now my bubble could get bigger and bigger and bigger and expand. This little test tube right here can't get bigger. It can't expand. It can only stay this size. So that means instead of the pressure making my bubble bigger, the pressure is actually going to be inside this little test tube right here, and it's going to be adding more and more pressure to the inside. Now you remember how I said that it doesn't get liquid? Well, it doesn't get liquid normally. The only way to make dry ice get liquid is to keep it pressurized. That's why whenever they move CO2, they move it in these very big metal containers that can hold the pressure very well. This is an extra thick test tube that I have specifically for this purpose. And you guys can see, I've managed to make my dry ice go liquid. Now the fun thing that happens, as soon as I let this go, as soon as all that liquid gets let go, let's see what happens. It goes right back to dry ice. Did you hear that psh of all the pressure right there? And then you can see, now I've got all these little chunky bits of my dry ice right there. All right, and now the very last one, which I love to do with my leftover dry ice. If I take the last of it, I drop it in, whatever I've got, add a little bit of soap, and what's going to happen is rather than there being one big bubble, I get a huge tower of bubbles. And these guys are fun because you can just toss them all over, clap them around, they kind of lay around everywhere. Oh, you can give yourself a little mustache or whatever you want them. But those are some fun ways for you to make your Halloween party and festivities even more scientifically amazing this year. Thanks so much for hanging out. I'll see you guys next time.